Hey Breakers, you're watching Smoke Break.
We stuffed that bitch.
But what exactly in the video games are like people saying that's making them like? There's no video games that like in GTA, yeah, I would say, but you can't go into school and shoot up kids in GTA. You can't do
They're
that.
just saying violent video games in general, where they're basically desensitizing children to violence and murder and all that.
It's endorsing violence. It's saying that this is okay to get to feel this way.
But they're also saying that they say that about certain books. They say that about certain movies. Stephen King took one of his books out of print because people were trying to say that people were shooting up schools because of it. So he said he felt more comfortable just taking it out of print.
No,
and that's ridiculous.
And that's wrong. People use what you see and what you hear as an excuse for the actions on what you do. No. One thing about me, I pride myself in not being a serial killer sometimes. And people don't understand how difficult that is, because the thoughts that originate in a person's head to do something to someone is not, oh, this person told me this or because I saw this. No. These are thoughts that your mind told you that were possible for you to do. Mm-hmm. And it just baffles me that you say, oh, like for instance with this guy that shot at the school, that you say, oh, he had mental issues. He was autistic. He was this. What autistic person have you known to even be around a weapon, to be around?
Exactly.
Autistic children are typically not that violent. And I know this because I had someone in my family that used to work with the special needs children. And they, as a rule, were not violent. They could get very upset. They tend to get very upset very easily if their like routine is disturbed, because they're very like, they need patterns and routine and all that.
Try to blame it on the fact that his mother had died from the flu in November.
What?
But
no, I mean, okay.
A lot of people's parents die and they don't become murderers.
I could understand a depression or hurt or something like that, but at the same time, the flu is a virus. I don't tie that to going to shoot up a school.
I get like if maybe like one of the teachers had murdered his mom, that he went up there trying to get that teacher or something, that would make sense to me.
I mean, shooting up those innocent kids definitely was not
the
right.
kids had no, nothing to do with that, and now their parents are gonna experience that same.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. I'm
now their parents are gonna experience the same loss that he felt when he lost his mom. So it's like, what good did that do you?
It just brought.
And then, did y'all hear this? After he did all that, he snuck off campus, right? Blended in with the students. Dude went to Subway and got him something to eat.
No.
That right there tells me that he didn't care. That's more psychopath behavior, because psychopaths can't. They don't care. They don't know the difference.
Let me read this to you guys. I found this. I was watching the news and they did an interview on the parent guardian of Nikolas, because they were, they tried to say that they didn't know that he would do something like that. He showed no signs of behavior, but they were talking to the guy, not the woman. They were talking to the guy, and they were asking him about the laws on gun control and how he feels on them. He says he thinks that Nikolas had a right to have all those fucking weapons. He thinks that.
How old was he?
Nikolas was he was 19 or 17.
Okay, well if he's 17, he had no right to any of those guns.
I think he was 19. I'm pretty sure.
No, he was 19. Actually, yes, he was.
But
the thing
he had just been.
He was 19.
Suspended.
Yeah, it says he thought it was fine for a 19-year-old boy to have an AR-15 Blackstone axe. It is his right to have it, James said. Do you feel any differently about that now, Blackstone axe? No, nope, said James.
Now see, here's my thing though. Okay, we all have a right to bear arms, but nowhere does it say that we should actually use them. We have the right to have them. It's just like a collectible item. It's just like, see, this guy I saw on Facebook, he collects, he had a warehouse upon warehouse of washing machines.
It's a
privilege.
privilege.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
It's a privilege.
But people keep talking about we need
this.
stricter gun laws, or we need better gun. I'm like,
not better.
What we need is better screening before you. A psychopath should not have a gun.
Oh no, I got it.
If there's something mentally wrong with you and you pose a danger to society, you should not have a gun. And I feel like a mental background check would help with a lot of this shit.
My question, why do we need guns?
That's what I'm saying.
To be honest, here's what I was brought up on this: do upon others as you want done unto you. If we were to treat people, not just within our states, but our surrounding areas, the way that we wanted to be treated, why would we need guns? Why would we need heavy artillery? Why would we need missiles? Why would we need stuff like that?
I feel like with guns, it should be everybody has one or nobody has one. I can't remember if it's Sweden or Switzerland. Every citizen has a gun, and every citizen is taught how to use that gun. Their murder rate is one of the lowest in the world.
Because everybody
has one and everybody knows how to use it. Their break-ins are their crime rates are some of the lowest in the world because everybody has a gun. And everybody is trained how to use it. But they get the proper training on how to use it. And we need more stuff like that around here. The way some of these European countries do things are actually really good. Like Finland. If you get a PhD in Finland, they give you a top hat and a sword when you get your diploma. But they have some of the best. They have some of the best school systems. They are number one in education in the world.
And like what? But what is
free.
It that makes them?
Everything is free.
Okay.
Education is free.
So
and if you're going to school and you're if you're going to college or something, they give you a certain amount of money a month so you can focus on your studies.
That sounds like free education. That sounds like equal opportunity.
And it is. It's for everybody. Everybody has you can choose not to go if you so desire, but you have to work. Like, you have to contribute to society.
Exactly. And it's just like...
But I think their unemployment rate is really low there, too.
Of course, if people have to have a job if they're not doing school, yeah, of course.
Plus, I mean, if I was going to get a fucking top hat and a sword when I got a PhD, I would probably, be
But it's
be wanting to get one.
There's so much things like disability in America. It's like people rely on that shit.
But see, here's the shit that gets me, though. It's like the government is really trying to kill us, and I really believe that. And the thing of it is, yeah, I'm saying it on camera, but I really do believe it. Because all these disabilities, all these disabled people, all these obese people, and it's a lot of people with obesity that have a lot of health people. But I'm not going to say that it's just all of them, because there are some obese people that are really healthy. But
people use that to go. You can literally go on disability and just tell them that you're too big to work, and they will give you money. That's not a disability at that point. That was your own choice at some point.
But correct me if I'm wrong. Now, at some point or another, we all started off smaller. We didn't all come out oversized, chunky, pregnant.
No, I mean, babies are typically 13 pounds or under.
Right, okay. So if we were to start with, at minimum, at least 30 minutes a day of 30 minutes a day of exercise. It doesn't have to be no full insanity or anything. Right. You get what I'm saying? Just something where you were just continuously working out.
I used to
my little girl
away from my school.
I make my little girl take the puppies outside. Like, I tell her, go out there, run, play with them, run them out of it, because it's getting her exercise too.
Do you go get it with her?
Not always.
I'm
not even gonna lie. I go sometimes, but sometimes, like, typically if I don't go, it's because I'm getting ready for work or something, though.
Well, see, what I've learned is in order for us to be able to expect things of others, we have to expect it within ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
So, now, I'm not preaching to you, but I'm just saying,
no, you're right, too.
But let's get back
it's
to
actually healthy for you.
And how we think that,
I'm going to be honest. I think it's just... I think a lot of it, like, with the Columbine shooting, I was, like, I think 10 when it happened. Those guys were bullied nonstop. And part of it is this generation, because we have created a generation of kids who get participation trophies for everything. And part of it is because parents are scared to discipline their children. Because people will threaten to call social services on you if you lay your hand on your kid. But if you don't discipline your child, then they're going to go to school and they're going to be, hateful to the other kids. And then...
I think it's fear and hate. Mm-hmm. But I think, honestly, fear is driven off of hate. So no one is trying to understand anyone anymore. It's just you're in the way of my path, so you need to move. or you need to change. And it's like,
we reward kids nowadays for nothing. Like, when I hold my daughter accountable for something that she did, she gets mad as fuck because it's something that I'm just recently starting to do with her. And it's like, it amazes me. Like, I come in the other day and she had taken one of my lipsticks and drawn all over my damn sheet on my bed. So as punishment, she got a whooping. And then I made her clean up the entire bedroom. And that thing really cried. Not because she got a whooping, but because she had to clean up. Parents aren't doing it at all anymore. Or they're trying to start when they're teenagers, and by that point it's too late.
It really is.
You can't change that behavior. I'm trying to change it in a 4-year-old and I'm struggling. I can't imagine trying to change like 16 years worth of behavior.
You got to think about it. You have to start when they're younger and they're manageable for you.
Yes.
Because there's no sense in trying to talk to them when they're 13 or 14, especially with their hormones now. They don't even look 13 or 14. They look like grown adults. So it's like, and they have raging hormones just like you. You know, it's like they're an equivalent of you. So if anything, you're ultimately going to be fighting the demons within yourself that you didn't want to deal with, that you cast upon your offspring.
And I really think part of the problems with the school shooters are honestly in the way that people are parenting.
Yeah.
They let kids there's too many parents that let their children do whatever they want to do. Like, when I was a kid, if I would have tried to spend the night at my boyfriend or girlfriend or whoever's house,
Wouldn't happen.
That would not have happened at all. My parents would have killed me. Nowadays, they're spending weeks at their significant other's house.
Getting engaged after 6 months.
Yeah, getting engaged at the age of 16 when you've been dating for 2 weeks is not.
Like, these are life-altering decisions, and it's like...
I think marriage is a sham anyway.
It is.
It really is, like...
Honestly, it's a way for the government to track you, I feel like.
And a way for them to make more money off of you because you got to pay the court system to get a divorce. Yeah.
I'm high as shit. Like, this backwood, it's okay. It's pretty good. Yeah, I'm cool.
Should we wrap the...
Oh, yeah. Good.
Yeah.